Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to fight TzKal-Zuk in normal mode using Necromancy, and I'm going to aim it very much towards you being a casual PvMer like I am, who doesn't want to, fully manually trigger all the abilities, and also maybe doesn't have the absolute best in slot gear, but just wants to succeed in this fight. I'm going to have chapters in this video because I'm going to do the whole encounter. I'm going to start by explaining the gear, then I'm going to do the whole encounter, and then we'll have the actual boss fight at the end. So if that's what you're interested in, you can of course skip ahead. But let me just explain what I'm bringing, and then we'll get started. So in this fight, it's important that you have a stunning ability somewhere where you can click on it manually. So for me, that is the Soul Strike here, and also the Death Grasp stuns. But we're going to use the Soul Strike mainly to stun, which means that my action bar over here, the Revolution bar, generates souls but doesn't consume them. It also generates necrosis stacks, and we can consume those using Finger of Death or Death Grasp here. So we need to have stuns. The other thing we need is we need a threshold ability, and they've sort of reworked what counts as thresholds. For the purpose of this fight, the important thing is that you can use bloat for thresholds, where there's a minion that needs to be weakened with a threshold, you can use bloat. Then I've got some other abilities on my bar that are also going to be useful during this fight. We have Threads of Fate, which we're going to use in one of the challenge waves, and just generally during other waves to kill enemies more quickly. You could also use Spectral Scythe for area of effect damage. I generally don't do that, but I have it here available if I want to. Deathmark, or Invoke Death to Deathmark the enemies can be useful, specifically for some of the high HP ones. Death Skulls is a nice ultimate for hitting different targets. Volley of Souls to dump all our souls at once for lots of damage. And we also have Resonance here, and we have Barricade, which we will need once in the fight. I'm bringing a shield for Barricade. I do have a bone shield, but I want a really high tier shield to make the barricade last as long as possible, which is why I've also put the turtling perk onto it. But even without that, if you just bring like a primal kite shield or something, that'll do the trick too. Whatever, just the highest tier shield you have, and if it's a shield that you can augment and you want to augment it, then put turtling on it. We're also going to want the freedom ability somewhere, either with a hotkey or somewhere we can click it. We're going to want the ability to surge or to dive. I don't have dive, so I have surge, and I have 2 charges, which will do the trick. And then we're going to need our protection prayers for the Jads at the very least, and honestly we want the protection prayers available in general, so you want them either hotkeyed or somewhere you can click on them. Good. In terms of gear, I'm going to be doing this in tank armor. Normally, I feel somewhat more confident with the fight. I would normally do it in my first Necromancer gear, but to show what it would be like to do it the first time, we're going to do it in the tier 90 Necromancy armor. I don't have any particularly useful perks on here. Most of them don't matter. The only one that does matter is I have Enhanced Devoted, which will be benefiting me in this fight by preventing some of the damage. I don't have any too special perks on my weapons here. I am using the tier 95 weapons because I didn't want to go remake the tier 90 ones just for this video. Bring some sort of book or scripture that causes area of effect damage. For example, this one doesn't need to be this one. If you're using the tier 95 Necromancy, then you want to have an Essence of Finality into which you put your tier 90 Necromancy weapon so that you can access the Death Grasp special attack, which I already showed before, which is a good way to use up necrosis stacks. Basically, you stack up a lot of damage, can use it at once. This is the special that from the tier 95, which we probably won't be using, but it's here if I want to use it. And the Soulbound Lantern, if you have it, you can stack up extra souls, which is always nice. If you don't, just equip the tier 90 one instead. And as a ring, the Ring of Death will give us an extra... well, give us a chance to basically teleport out if we mess up and die, while the Defense Cape will give us 1 additional life. Overall, the HP bonus plus the one from the Totem of Vitality and using the Spa will give us enough HP that we could technically tank 2 Jad hits, but we can definitely tank 1 of them. So that's what I have equipped here. We also have a Nexus with lots of runes and ectoplasm. Doesn't need to be this Nexus, just any Nexus will do. And then in my inventory I have the shield, which we're going to switch to once in the fight. We have some overloads. If you don't have Elder overloads, you can use normal overloads. If you don't have those, you can use an extreme necromancy potion. We have some super restores whose main purpose is going to be to restore my prayer. So it's important that we don't run out of prayer during this fight. I have the infernal puzzle box to keep my adrenaline from draining out of combat. You can add this to your tool belt, and then then it's always active, but I like keeping it off my tool belt. And we have a spirit pack pig with some extra food. We probably won't need all this food, but if you feel more confident with more food, go ahead and bring it. If you feel that you're doing enough damage, of course, then you could bring a damage dealing familiar, but this is sort of to show how it would be if you're learning it. So that's why I'm bringing tank armor, defense cape, sailfish, more sailfish. Right. So I think we're ready to get into it. And I'm going to do the whole thing. I'll narrate when there's important stuff happening. And I want to darkness and multicast it 3 times maybe. Activate our book. Yeah, and I'll narrate when stuff is happening that I think is important. Specifically around the challenge waves. These flying bats here are your #1 target. Highest priority to kill these things right away. Because they drain your prayer if they attack you. And I have this revolution bar set up here that summons my conjures, commands the conjures, and builds souls and necrosis stacks. So I don't need to worry about all of that. I can just click manually when I want to deal additional damage. Like if I want to use Finger of Death on this guy, I can do that. Or if I want to do Threads of Fate here. Get a couple different enemies at once, very good. And to basically adjust your prayer to whatever you're getting hit most by. These guys deal melee, the frisbee throwers, your chakram throwers deal ranged. We'll go back to our little corner here. This might not be the optimal position, it's not necessarily what's shown on the wiki. Oh, there's one more enemy left. But the point is not to do everything optimally in terms of speed, kill times, but just to do it in terms of survivability. Okay, we have more evil bats here, which we don't want to deal with, so see if I can kill them quickly. Probably time to turn off auto retaliate. Yeah. Let's do Threads of Fate and use the weapon special, maybe? Okay, got 2 guys, good. They deal melee, but I'm being hit by ranged, so it's pretty ranged. Good. Did I actually drink the overload? I don't think I did. Make sure you do that.
Into the fray.
Alright, so now we've got like the pre-challenge wave. These are the guys we need to stun, the ones that are igneous. So if we hit them with a soul, they now take normal amounts of damage. Just do this. There's another igneous one. We'll hit that one with the soul. Soul, I said. We only have to kill the Igneous ones, but I'm definitely going to kill all of them. Just for the extra drops and for completeness sake. There's the final Igneous one. Let's get that one. Nope, I said that guy. A soul. So then we're gonna have a. Then we're gonna have to damage him for 50k damage, and to do that, I'm gonna cast a bloat and then use a bunch of stacked up souls on him. And then once we do that, we're gonna have a challenge wave. And for that challenge wave, I'll explain it in a moment. But for that challenge wave, we're going to need Threads of Fate, because we need to kill 5 enemies in a relatively short time. And with Threads of Fate, we can area of effect 3 of them, basically. If you need to heal, you can use Soul Split or Eclipse Soul when you attack him here. Ah, there's still a minion. Let's get rid of that guy. Right, so we're going to have this challenge wave, and then what I'm going to do during the challenge wave is I'm going to cast Invoke Death, that has a 12-second cooldown, followed by Threads of Fate, which has a 6-second cooldown. Then I'm going to use my 12 Necrosis stacks and basically instantly kill 3 of them, and then I'll maybe use some souls or bloat or something on the remaining 2 to get rid of those. Maybe Death Skulls. And then we're going to have a Jad after that, but can deal with them when we get there. So let's trigger him, hit him with some stuff, and then build stacks again. We need to do 50k worth of damage here, otherwise we repeat the previous wave. But in my experience, this is enough to deal 50k of damage. Right?
Lucky hit. Attack.
Okay, we got 3 of them. Smack him with something. There we go. Very good. We're gonna hide here.
You have exceeded my expectations. To the slaughter.
Now the Jad is gonna spawn behind that pillar, which is why we're standing here. But he's trapped. Very ranged against these guys. Basically clear out most of the minions first. Okay, I think we can go to this side of it, that should be fine. Once again, make sure you kill these evil... I call them evil flies, they're evil bats. First. Or anything else. And then for this guy, he deals 8k damage if you pray incorrectly, and deals only 1 damage if you pray correctly. So, it's absolutely important to pray correctly. If he hits the ground like that, that means he's doing a ranged attack. If he stands up, then he's going to do a magic attack, but currently he's not doing that. Still doing ranged. Got him. Hide here. Let's check. Okay, Overload still has a bit of time. Good, we got rid of that. There's one more back there, which we might be able to knock off with the Death Skulls. Let's see. Good. And then I find it's always useful to kill the ones who are attacking with something different than what you're praying first. And just having Devoted or Enhanced Devoted helps a lot against these instances where you're being hit by lots of damage of the same type at once. Okay, my Overload is running low. Okay, this guy's been standing still for a while, so he deals a lot of damage, but don't really mind. But you have to be careful with them. If they've been standing still for a long time, make them run somewhere to reduce their damage output. Yeah, and I'm just using Threads of Fate from time to time to hit multiple enemies like that. Basically clicking abilities as I need them. If you have any questions, you can of course leave them below. I'll probably say that same line right at the end of the video again, but just thought I'd let you know now. Ow. Yeah, avoid walking into the fire if you can.
Rise, Ashen Ranger!
Now we're again in a pre-challenge wave where we've got Igneous guys. These guys need to be hit by a threshold ability, so we're going to use Bloat on him. See, now it's vulnerable, and now we can... There's another Igneous one. Yeah, and the weapon special doesn't count, but we Bloat him, and then that counts as a threshold. You can also use an ultimate on him, I believe, but Bloat 20 adrenaline and you make it invulnerable, so that's the one to use. And then for the next challenge wave, what's going to happen is we're going to have one enemy, and he's immune to all damage that deals less than 2,000 damage. I think it's 2,000. Basically, you just need to deal high damage to him in single hits. So we're going to have our saved up thing here for a lot of damage. And then maybe we'll use like a Finger of Death on him as well, or a lot of these Necromancy attacks do high damage. The minions probably won't be able to damage him because they only deal a little bit of damage each time. Overload is still looking okay. Let's get some more prayer again. And we haven't weakened him, which is why he takes less damage and heals quickly. It's important to always do the weakening on these Igneous guys. This one is non-Igneous. We could do a Bloat anyway, but we won't. Alright, so back we are here. If we needed to heal, we could, but I actually don't need to heal, so we'll skip that. We'll Great Protect from ranged in preparation for the 2 Jads that are going to spawn after the fight. And let's trigger them. And as before, I'm going to do the Bloat and dump my souls into him. You could do some more abilities if you're not doing quite enough damage, but with 5 souls, it is actually enough damage.
Show your power.
Alright, so we'll dump this into him. There we go. I also death marked him as well, but it's 12 necrosis stacks. Necromancy is very good at stacking up damage for use later. Ah! Evil flies. Die and be forgotten. Oh, die faster. Okay, it's gone. We have 2 Jads here, but as long as we stay where we are, they can't actually attack, which is good. If I move out, then what's going to happen is that this guy is going to attack. Not quite yet. We can kill these 2 as well. So yeah, standing in this corner keeps both of them trapped until you're ready to fight them, which is desirable. My prayer is a bit low. Let's go. Death mark again if we want. Okay, that's a magic attack. some souls at him. Let's defeat this one. Doing ranged again. Nope, don't get into melee range. If we do get hit once, don't panic. You have enough HP to tank a hit. And just eat up. Okay, now we'll go back to the corner, drink a new overload.
Show me you are worthy.
Okay, I see one of these things here, which we will try to get like this. Then we'll try to get this one with okay, we got both of them. They're ranged now. Kill the magic enemies. Oh, there's another who didn't actually die. That. So yeah, the waves here are all relatively doable. You just have to avoid getting mobbed by too many minions at once at the same time. And eat something if you need to. Okay, that's all of them, yeah.
Fight, worm, or crawl and die.
Send in the souls. There we go. Yeah, Necromancy is quite nice at basically saving up damage to use if you need burst damage at some point. You could do this with other combat styles too, but I've only done it with Necromancy, because Necromancy is nice for casual PvM. With the healing from the ghost, and the fact that your minions dual damage even while you're running around panicking. Especially if you have Revolution Bar set up.
Flame wielder, it is time.
Okay, so here you want to play magic in this phase, and for these guys you just have to walk inside the shield area and attack them when you're in there. Then you can hit them with multi-hit attacks. Alright, so we're going to have another challenge wave. And for that one we need our barricade. So we're going to need 100% adrenaline. And then we need to barricade as soon as the minions spawn. So that we don't get hit. And I will be switching to the shield in order to get a very long barricade. That's basically the gist of it. That's why I've brought this extra shield. If you don't have the shield, or if your barricade doesn't last long enough, you can use a resonance or a devotion. Or something, a disruption shield, I suppose. But we will be doing barricade. Let's check our Overload is still active for 1 minute. Let's drink it again now. Do this. And let's get started. I'm going to do a bloat again, but that's all I'm going to do because I need adrenaline for devotion. Or for barricade, I said. But we can build some adrenaline here again. There we go. Dealt enough damage.
Not bad.
Grip the shield.
Gone on too long. Kill them.
Alright, at this point I'm just attacking to build adrenaline, but my barricade with turtling lasts very long.
It appears you have
Switch back.
my expectations. Enough.
Now I'll go over here. There are 3 Jads. One of them is going to come for us right away. This guy. Right, he's continuing to do magic. Continuing to do magic. Alright, yeah. The goal here is you want to fight them one at a time. And I'm also pulling my punches a bit to save up stacks of abilities for use against the next part, against the Har-Aken. Because if we're lucky and if I wasn't wearing tank armor, then you can deal enough damage to defeat the Har-Aken without him diving down. We'll see if we succeed in that or not. Probably won't succeed. The important thing here is to watch. He rears up, you do magic. If he puts his hand on the ground, you do ranged, or just generally keep it unranged and only switch to magic when he rears up. You can play ranged here again for this part of the fight. So we see where is the Har-Aken? There it is. And here we have to try to avoid the attacks that drain the adrenaline. Like when the screen shakes, you're supposed to move. Meanwhile, we'd want to dump as many stacked up abilities as we have here. Yeah, we dodged that one. Very good. Have some souls. We probably won't deal enough damage, but we're going to try our best. If you have power armor, you can surely do enough here. Ow, you got my adrenaline, damn it. Okay, well, that's probably it then. It also reduces adrenaline gain. Alright. We'll get him when he comes up the next time. Now we clear some of the tentacles, we can grab more food. We should also try to avoid these attacks a bit more. And let's not get bombarded. Like when that message appears, you need to move. And I think all the tentacles are on the other side, so we're safe for now. Nope, new one here. Now it's screen shake. Yeah. So yeah, whenever the screen shake happens, you're going to get hit, so you need to move. That's a good trick, and when that message happens, you need to move, and you get the huge cross. Screen shake is a small bombardment. Right. Now we just finish him off. Should be relatively easy. I'm going to drink another overload for the next part of the fight. Alright, let's hurry it up. There we go. So now we want to pray melee against Zuk, and I guess we should have switched prayers after the tentacles left. So in this part of the fight, for every special attack, there's an action we need to take. The first one we're gonna need to do freedom, which I'm gonna use with my hotkey. Right, freedom to stop taking the bleed damage. Then the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to surge when he hits the next one, and then we need to walk a bit to... Right? So we need to do that, and then we need to walk until the debuff is completely gone over there. That debuff is gone. Now I can attack him again. And then for the next one, we need to surge again to avoid getting hit by another bleed. And then the next one we need to do resonance on. I usually mess it up, but I'm going to try to not mess it up. There we go. Then the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to have the fancy pizza phase. So for that, we're going to want to anticipate, maybe right about now. And then we switch prayer to magic. If the anticipate is active, then we don't get stunned. If it weren't active, we would have gotten stunned. I surge towards him. And now we need to stun this guy. And kill him quickly. And then we target him again so that we can surge towards the middle. I have double surge, which is nice to have. Now this guy we need to use Bloat on, as before with the Igneous ones. And then we just need to kill him with whatever we have. Kill him. If his bar refills, then you have to just stun him again or bloat him again. And then this guy here, we just need to get close to him and damage him. And now there's a bar above his head, and before it fills, we need to press the button down here. We can build some stacks, but we don't cut it too close. And now we just start from the beginning again, do some damage to him, get ready to do freedom. Okay, we cleared the bleed. Surge, run a bit. If you run away from him, then he'll deal a magic attack. So try to stay close to him so he just deals melee. Surge again. And then the next one is going to be the resonance, which I'm going to mess up again, probably. But we'll try. Yeah. And if we get him down to 100k, then he restarts the cycle. If we don't, then we're going to have a pizza phase in a moment. Probably have, so I'm going to anticipate, just in case. Yeah. Surge, yeah. Oh, I surged randomly, I don't know where he is. Just stun him. Dump the rest of the souls at him. Good. Surge again. Always attack him and surge, that way he'll surge in the right direction. Bloat this guy. And use something like a special on him just to kill him. You can always put a bloat on something if you haven't dealt enough damage. Bloat in a death mark, and then maybe he'll die later when you're fighting the next guy. This is the hardest part, like, because this insta-kills you if you haven't killed all three of them and can stun him. This is the part that killed me a couple times when I was first learning this. But once you get it down, it's not too difficult. You just need to do enough damage and have the right abilities available at the right time. Right, at this point, we just kill him. But still deal with the mechanics again. Freedom. And here you could switch to a luck ring if you had one. There we go. And that's how you do it. And we did it all in a single attempt, and we did all the challenge waves. So, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. If it's your first time, don't forget to pose by his throne as well. I think you can sit in it, right? Yeah. And then once you feel more confident, you can do the whole thing in power armor, and you'll be able to deal more damage, do the whole thing faster. So, thanks for watching this video. I'll talk to you next time.